Hello and welcome to May. So there's really not an awful lot that I've actually done this month crafting wise, or at least that I've not finished. So in theory this should be quite a short video, although every time I've said that it ends up being about the same length as any other month. So the first thing to talk about this month is this triangle shawl scarf thing, which I started in March and then I finished in May. You can't really see it, it's just behind me here, but I'll put a picture up anyway. It's made with Cotton King's Sultan Shadow 17 and it's just a normal sort of granny triangle. It's one of the easiest ways of making a scarf, especially in a triangular shape. This one just took a while because it's with the Cotton King's yarn. It's really thin. I always forget how long it actually takes to make up something with this yarn. So it does get a little bit frustrating sometimes, but I finished it and I even put some little tassels on it, which I'm quite happy with. The only downside to it is I'm probably not going to get to wear this until the autumn now, but once it gets to autumn I'll probably wear it most days, or alternate between this and other ones. The next thing is again something that I made before the month but I finished in May, so I started it in April, and it's a granny hex cardigan. I basically wanted to use up loads of the DK yarn that I had because I've still got lots of it, of the acrylic yarn, and I wanted to see if the pattern as I noted it down when I made a different cardigan probably about a year or so ago, I wanted to make sure that it was right and that I could make more things using this pattern, and it's worked really well. It's not in the kind of colours that I would usually wear. For example, blue I don't wear very often. I very much lean more towards red, purple and green, and of course black. And because I have so much blue left over from the massive blanket that I made, and even after making another blanket to give away to someone, I still have a lot of blue left, so I knew if I made something that was just blue I definitely wouldn't wear it, whereas this, because it's multicoloured, I'm more likely to wear it. And I have worn it a few times at work and I've had some nice compliments off people when I've worn it, even from strangers, not necessarily people I know from work, but I was waiting to get picked up after work one day and a complete stranger walking past on the street told me that she liked my cardigan, so I was quite happy with that. But it's a proof of concept. It means I know if I want to make a hex cardigan with DK yarn that I know how much I need because I've weighed it as well. I keep forgetting to weigh things, but this I weighed, so I know I need at least 450 grams of yarn if I want to do just the basic one. If I want it to be longer, I will need more yarn. If I want it to be a shorter sleeve or a shorter body, I don't need as much yarn, but I know roughly how much to get if I don't want to make another one, and I kind of do. I do want a few different colour options because I usually wear plain coloured dresses, usually black, and it's nice to have a little bit of colour on top of it. So I think I have found my perfect cardigan now in my Granny Hex Cardi, especially as I can modify it slightly if I want a long cardigan or a shorter one, longer sleeves, shorter sleeves, a longer collar, closing at the front, that sort of thing. I know I've got my base pattern now for my size. I know exactly how many rows I need to make. Obviously, if my body changes, if I lose weight, I know I need to make it smaller, but I can then use one that I've already made, measure it against me, and then I know what I need to do to make it different going forward. So I'm really happy with this. So on to things that I started in May. So the first thing I can't actually show you, even though it's finished, because it's going to be a gift for someone. I don't know if they'll see this video, but I don't want to ruin it before they see it. But basically some friends of mine are getting married in July, so I made them a gift. Only a little thing. I went back and forth quite a lot on what to make them because I didn't want to make something big and hard to store, like a big blanket or something like that, if it didn't fit the decor in their home, or if they didn't like it but didn't want to give it away or throw it away or what have you. I didn't want something that's awkward to kind of hide away in a cupboard. So I've made them something small and decorative, so they can have it out if they want to, or it's very easy to put away somewhere. I'm probably selling myself short because they probably will like it. I'm sure that they will appreciate it. The way that I've done it, it very much matches the wedding invite style and things like that. But just to be on the safe side, I have tried to be considerate and make something that they can easily hide away somewhere and it won't take up a lot of room. The second thing that I started is a pair of socks for my dad. So my dad's birthday is in October, and for his birthday and Christmas this year he'd like socks. So I thought I might as well get a head start and start one of his pairs of socks. So I've made one of the socks already, but I haven't finished the pair yet. I'm still about halfway through the second sock. And I also already know what yarn I'm going to make the second sock pair, that's a weird way of saying that, the second pair of socks out of. I'm not hurrying my way through them because I have until October to finish the first pair, and then December to finish the second pair. But once they're done and out the way, they're done and out of the way, and I can just wrap them up and leave them and wait till Christmas and birthday. Second thing I started, and again I haven't finished yet, is a rug. So it's originally I was going to crochet it, but as I was crocheting it, it didn't really work very well. I have a lot of t-shirt yarn which I want to use up because it's taking up a lot of space and I rarely ever use it. I've had that yarn for about 6 years and not actually used it. So I basically made a big plait. I'll see if I can pull it out to show you. And I will make more. It's in a ball at the moment, but I basically plaited the t-shirt yarn together to form a rope, and then I've coiled the rope and sewn it down in a nice, it's not going to focus on it, is it? Well, that's what it looks like. I alternated between 2 strands of purple and 1 of black, and the other way around, so that it gives a bit of a stripy effect as it goes, and I think that's quite striking actually. It's quite nice. I only ever look at it from up close rather than from a distance, but I quite like that. The thing that's making this take a while is that I'm hand sewing it, so I know it's going to be very much a long-term project, but again I've got no deadline for it, so as long as I finish it at some point it will be fine. As it's getting bigger I am getting more, not fed up of it, but I'm getting less enthused with it because it is taking a while, and that's how I am with a lot of projects. If they are very long they annoy me and I put them away for a bit, but if I have a few that are like that I can chop and change between them until I get bored and pick up the other bit. So it kind of works out in the end. The next thing that I started, again I haven't finished yet, is what I've named a spirally circular cardie. So I'm here with it at the moment. I've basically done a spiral circle, made armholes in it, and I'll keep going until the body is big enough that I can either close it, or I think I'll probably have ties on it to tie at the front, and then where the armholes are there I'll pick up around the edge and knit the arms. This yarn I have taken from a different top that I made just over a year ago. I'd crocheted it, I'll put a picture up of it here. I'd crocheted it and it worked exactly how I'd wanted it to, but there were 2 issues with it. It's really warm because I'd crocheted it, it was quite dense where it was like weaved together, and also the sleeves, because they were bell sleeves, they just got in the way all the time, and I much more prefer a shorter sleeve or one that can be rolled or pushed up, but because it's a bell sleeve it's hard to push up and for it to stay there. And I think I've only worn it once since I made it, and I've had it for over a year, so I thought, well, I might as well take that yarn back and make something out of it that I'm more likely to wear. So using it to make this cardigan, which I don't know if you can see, it's sort of a bit more flowy and a bit more loose. Doesn't look it from here, I suppose, but it's a bit more flowy, it's a bit looser. I think it will be less warm and dense, and even if it's not suitable for summer because it's going to be quite warm, that will be a brilliant one for autumn. I'm making detailed notes on like how many rows I'm doing and that sort of thing so that I can replicate it in the future, because this year I'm going to finally wear my Hobbit costume that I made last year, or that I partially made last year. I wasn't 100% happy with the waistcoat that I made for it, so I think I'm going to again unravel that because it's sat in a bag ever since, and use that for something else. And then I'm going to get, in this same yarn, this is Riot DK, the same kind of yarn, a different colourway that will be more hobbity, and make a waistcoat version of this cardigan, assuming this works well, because all I'll need to do is the circle and the gaps for the arms. I won't need to make the arms themselves, so it'll be a bit quicker of a make as well. And once I finish this I'll know roughly how long it'll take me to make it. So as long as I finish it before the end of October, that will be fine. So I'm kind of looking forward to different things I can do. I still need to use up a lot of yarn, and I'm not really helping myself by unravelling things that I have already made, but the using up of the yarn is part of a bigger kind of mindset change I'm trying to have of not being wasteful. And part of that, the not being wasteful, is using things that I have already or repurposing them to use in something else, whether it's as stuffing for a cushion or a teddy or something like that, or to make something, you know, an item itself. It might seem like I'm doing it at cross purposes with myself, but it's actually part of like a bigger mindset change that I'm trying to get into, and I think I'm doing quite well with. Not necessarily in all parts of my life, but wherever I'm able to, I'm making these changes to be less wasteful. If you want to find me on any of the other social medias or anything like that, have a look down below. There's a link to my link tree, and I'll see you in the next video.